Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Good afternoon, Toastmasters, distinguished guests. My name is CJ Walker, and today my speech is entitled, What Do I Want to Be When I Grow Up? But it's a question. Do you remember growing up as a little child? All the adults that met you, they had the same script, almost identical, even Santa. Almost as if no one had an original thought. You know what they would say, Hi, how are you? What's your name? How old are you? What do you want to be when you grow up? All of those questions seem to be easy, but that last question stumped me every time. So when they would ask me, what do you want to be when you grow up? I felt like a Jeopardy contestant with the theme music playing in the background. I was completely stumped. All I knew is growing up on the south side of Chicago, I saw a lot of examples of what not to do. But I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So what I began to do is think about this throughout life as I was growing up, and as I was looking at people around me, my family members and friends, I began to do my own personal research. So if I saw someone I didn't want to be like, I didn't do what they did. Very simple. So if I saw someone that was smoking a cigarette, and it seems as though every time someone smokes a cigarette, they reek of cigarette smoke, and I hate it. So of course that's a habit I would never pick up because I don't want to smell like cigarette smoke. Pretty easy. But as time goes on, of course that was before Google and Yahoo. And as I got a little bit older and I was introduced to Google, I began to start to research to try to form this idea of what it was that I wanted to be when I grew up. So I started to do a little bit of research, and again, I knew what not to do, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. One thing I knew I really wanted to do is I wanted to be successful. And I wanted to be wealthy. And of course, you know, they say insanity, the definition of insanity, is doing the same things over and over again and expecting different results. So I didn't want to repeat a lot of the negative statistics that were around me. So I wanted to do something different. So I became a little bit obsessed. I started to research rich people habits, and I started to read magazines and audiobooks and YouTube videos and everything that I can get my hand on to find out what it is that the other people were doing. And I think I came to a conclusion. I want to be a billionaire. And I don't mean like a Powerball winner billionaire. I want to be like filthy rich. Like the type of wealth that lasts for generations. That's the type of wealth that I want to have. But of course, in order to do that, the billionaires have certain habits. And what I've learned from reading books and magazines, it's almost about 35 things that they all kind of do. All pretty much the same. 35 is an overwhelming number. All I knew is I really wanted to kind of start my journey, but I wanted to stick to 3. So the 3 that stuck out to me was they pay, they own, and they fail. Now when I say they pay, one book that I read, it was called The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clayson. The first thing he did was pay himself first. By that, every time you get an earning, you should always save 10%. And the quote from the book actually reads, I found the road to wealth, he said, when I decided that a part of all I earned was mine to keep. And so will you. So every dollar you earn, you must save 10% for yourself. Now I admit this was the hardest one for me, because as soon as I get a check, I think about all the bills that I can pay, and I leave myself to the back burner. So what I had to do was actually automate my savings, like my checks and my bills. So my car note comes out every Friday. And on Tuesday, I get a nice little reminder, hey, your car note is coming out on Friday. So what I had to do was actually set up a reminder on Wednesday before I get paid on Friday. Hey, you have to pay yourself first before you pay anybody else. And you will be saving Friday. So that was pretty easy. Now that it's automated, easy peasy. The second one they do is they fail. And when I say fail, I don't mean just one time and then they give up. They fail over and over and over again. One of my favorite quotes is from the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, where the quote reads, opportunity often comes disguised in the form of misfortune or temporary defeat. Oprah says, failure is another stepping stone to greatness. J.K. Rowling, I don't know if you guys are familiar with her, but she's the author of the Harry Potter book series. She was actually a single mom living off welfare before she became the country's first billionaire author. And then, of course, because I'm from Chicago, I have to quote Michael Jordan. And his famous quote is, "I missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I have lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed. I realized I had to change my mindset in order to fail and to be comfortable with failing and knowing that it was a part of the process." So the third thing they do, which is really important, is they actually own. And when I say they own their businesses. And I don't mean they don't have a job. Most of them start having a job. They own their businesses. In the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, he has an entire chapter titled Mind Your Own Business, where he quotes, "Don't quit your day job. Have your day job, but use that income to build your business after hours." And he goes extensively into how he collected his income and used it for investments in real estate. They say that millionaires have 7 streams of income. Now, of course, that's just a millionaire, but I want to be a billionaire. So I might want to work on having a little bit more than just 7 streams of income. Now, there are a lot of things that billionaires do, but I really want to zero in on these 3. So they pay, they fail, and they own. It's pretty easy to remember, and one thing I liked about these 3 key characteristics is the idea is no additional investment, no additional time, no easy installments of $19.99. It's pretty easy to adopt today. So if I were to go back to my 5-year-old self and someone were to ask me, "Little girl, what do you want to be when you grow up?" Do you know what I would say?
Billionaire.
I want to be a billionaire. So freaking bad. Thank you.